Hey guys, it's Moody here, and I wanted to make a video / guide on EV training in Pokemon X and Y because it's vastly different from the EV training we're used to in the previous generations. In this one, they decided to include Super Training, which is also EV training, which you'll be able to find on the bottom screen of your DS. If it's not on the right one, you just have to click L or R, and one of the apps on the bottom is going to be EV training. And once you get to EV training, if you have not done it before, you're going to have to go through a whole tutorial process. So if you're in the beginning of the game, you're going to have to go through the whole tutorial process. However, it does give you the EVs that you're doing. But if you're concerned about getting the right spreads for your Pokemon, don't worry, because you're able to reset these EVs once you go through the whole tutorial process. In order to beat each level, you have to shoot the ball into the net. It's as simple as that. Once you rack up the desired amount of points, you clear the Super Training level. For level 1, you have to clear each stat. You do get the EVs for each stat, which is why I mentioned that you're able to reset them, so don't worry about it. Once you clear each stat, you'll be able to advance into level 2. And once you clear each stat in level 2, you'll be advanced to level 3. At level 3, that is the maximum that you'll be getting. And at level 3, you get 12 EV points each time you complete a stat. In the second one, you get 8, and in the first one, you get 4. This is why it's important that you get to level 3, because it'll give you the most amount of EV points per game. Also, keep in mind that it doesn't matter what Pokemon you use, because as long as you clear the levels, you can use it with any Pokemon in your party. And another tip is that you can hold the stylus down to charge your attack, and you can hold the L button down, the back button, the L trigger, down to have a shield up for like 2 to 3 seconds. So the charge attacks give you like more damage if you want to get it in that way. And at the end, you can tell that you get your attack boost depending on the level you did it on. And you also get a training bag for the specific stat you did it on, ranging from S through L. The small punching bags are worth 1, the medium punching bags are worth 4, and the large punching bags are worth 12 EVs. So ideally, you'd want to try and get as many large punching bags as you can, but it doesn't exactly make the other ones useless either. You have a maximum of 12 punching bag spaces open, so you'd want to use them up or discard them. If you're not using them, you should discard them because you're probably not going to use them, or use them on a different Pokemon because you only have 12 spaces. And when you get a punching bag, you just want to keep attacking it, because right now, if you attack the regular punching bag like I am now, sometimes you can get random punching bags that appear, and they're basically free punching bags that you get. So you also want to make sure that you have the space to get these free punching bags, because also while you are roaming, the Pokemon hits the punching bag once per minute, and this can also net you free punching bags even while you're not playing the app specifically. So you want to just keep mashing the punching bag. You only get the EVs when you finish hitting the bag. So when you finish hitting the bag, it will add the EVs to the stat that you're doing it for, and that's how the punching bags work. There are 2 important bags that you can get from punching the regular black punching bag, and one of them is the reset bag, which I just got here, and the other one is the double experience bag, and that one it just has a X2 on it. So the double experience bag kind of speaks for itself. Once you hang it up and punch it off, then for the next minigame that you play, you'll get double the EVs for that minigame, and just that one. So getting it can really speed up your EVs a lot, so that's also a very good thing. The other bag is the bag that I mentioned earlier, and it will reset all your EVs. Unfortunately, you can't just reset a certain stat or anything. You have to reset all of them at once. However, since EV training isn't as difficult or tedious as it was in previous generations, it's actually a really good thing that you can reset them in case you do mess up. And another thing that I believe you'll be able to do is, even if your Pokemon is at level 100 or a very, very high level, leveling it up isn't going to affect the EVs or the stats, because the stats will just change based on the EVs. So let's say your Pokemon is at level 100. If you clear all of its EVs, its stats will go down. And then if you retrain it for its EVs, its stats will go up based on the EV spread that you gave it. Once you use the reset bag, you will be able to tell how many EVs you lost. This is my Blaziken after I used the reset bag, and this is my Blaziken before I used it. Because it's the same level, the EVs change based on the bags I used and the EVs I trained it in. So based on that logic, even at level 100, you will be able to EV train your Pokemon if you want to with this method. The only problem I found so far is that you don't know how many EVs you have in a certain stat specifically. So in order to find out how many EVs you have in a stat, you should try and keep track of them as best you can. But if you did lose track, you can save and then use a reset bag on a Pokemon, and then it will tell you how many points you have in each stat, and then you can just turn off your DS and turn it back on, and I feel like that's the best method in order to check how many EVs you have in a stat. I hope this guide was helpful to some of you, and if you liked it, you can always leave a like in the description, and you can always refer back to it whenever you might need help. And if you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comment section below, and I can try my best to answer them. And as always, I love you all, and I hope you enjoyed the guide.